Who is the? There are three Baliadis here. We have Rakim, we have Rahim, we have Farhan. Hmm. Walaikum salam. That is. Didn't I upload it, Ramla, yet? I remember like uploading. Give me a moment. Zoom. Oh yeah, I haven't uploaded. I'll upload it. Ah yeah, I'll give the option to rename for the some people. Okay, granted. I wear the academy. Yes. Farhan Nana Vamos. What is Vamos? What's Vamos? What's it? What is Vamos? Ah, where can I get the today's paper from? I'll share it. Spanish or Spanish. How are you doing? Alhamdulillah. I got that's fine, Alfan. Sure, we can improve. He looks like this. Yeah. Okay, what do you call this? Is a Java number paper. I will reshare it in the group, all of you all. Wait, let's go with the. Okay, for a change, let's do MCQ. We're always doing part two questions. So for a change, we're going to do MCQ questions. And I'm sharing you all around 10 questions now. I will share the PDF in the group as well. Okay, I'll share the PDF in the group as well. So you can obtain it from there. 2027 oral paper class. By the way, I have not still uploaded you all the recordings for the last few classes. I'll do it. No, no, take first, take. The way he was saying, I thought he might smack your head. Where that guy is greeting us. Oh, okay. I shared the. Okay, sorry. After class. You look like you just woke up. I didn't just wake up, man. I just had lunch. And we are dead actually. His Rizlan's also in academy. Rizlan's is not in academy, but Miss Shafna, Zoha, and all in academy. Okay, you have start doing this question. I'll give you. You have start doing this question. They announced just. You have start doing this question. You have start doing this question. We'll start the discussion in another few minutes. Huh? So I'll give you now. It's 7:5:18. I'll give you all time till 10 minutes. One question, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 5:28. Around 5:25, 5:28. I'll what do you call start discussing. For now, start doing this question all of you. Verify the screen share. I'm sharing the PDF in the group. It's already sent. You can check the group. Yeah, Fatima. And also recording of HTML. I had to search that. I'll take time for that. Okay. So I think you inhale laughing. Yes. Yeah. Soha is down in chess class. Give us the option to change the name. I gave. Please upload the paper. I uploaded. Okay. Start doing once you're done. Raise your hand, Zuma. Understandable, Nuska. Makes sense. Those who are done with the question, raise your hands up. All 9 questions. We start the discussion shortly. Those who are done with the questions, raise your hands up. Got my city marks. How much after? Mashallah, good job after. I'll actually post a Google form in the group asking your marks details. Ooh, interesting, Amar. How much was the marks? How much was it this time? Good job. What was it, Fatima? I'll check, Rehan. Mashallah, good job. That's a nice marks, Fatima. Where did that 1 mark disappear? Till which question? All the question, all 9 marks. Those who are done, raise your hands. I'm just checking the count. The 1 minute I'll start to discuss. Oh, good luck, Samad. Oh, that's good, Tamara. That's fine. We can improve it. Where did it go wrong, Fatima? That's fine, Tamara. Oh, understandable. Okay, let's start now. Yeah, that's fine. Is it Rashida? Mhm. I can see only 12 hands up. Others, what are you doing, man? Anyways, let's check your answers now. So it was MCQ question. There's nothing hard to even write here. Just you just have to write the question number and the answer number. So those who don't know about the paper class, you are supposed to maintain a separate writing book for the paper class. And I'll be giving you all certain questions, and you all are supposed to note down the question number and the answer number. Okay. For Riafa. Riafa, I gave the option Riafa. See, let me do it. Rename to Riafa. Done Riafa. Sad life. Okay, our time is up. Understand, Muska. Let's check in. The first question says a school principal uses a newly deployed computerized system. The system automatically scans student ID barcode to record the attendance and instantly calculates the daily class attendance percentage. Which of the following correctly identifies data and information in this scenario? Okay, let's see. Class attendance percentage is data. The student ID barcode is information. Okay. The main difference between data and information is that data is not processed and information is processed. So we know that when you have a collection of data and when you process this collection of data, what do we get? When we have a collection of data and when you process them together, what do we get? Perfect. When you process them together, we get information. So in terms of class percentage, in order to calculate the class percentage, the daily class percentage, so they are talking about attendance percentage. If you read the question properly, you can see daily class attendance percentage. So if you want to see the attendance percentage, first of all, you'd have the record. You'd have the data of how many people are total there in a class. Out of these total students, how many are present, how many are absent. So there is a collection of data you need. So only if you have this data, how many students are present, total how many students are there. Only if you have these two datas, you can actually find the daily class percentage. So daily class percentage is actually an information, not a data. Therefore, the first answer is wrong. In the second answer, they mentioned scan ID barcode is data and the class attendance percentage is information. That's actually correct, but let's go through the remaining answers as well. In Roman number 3, they have said the total number of present student is data, the scan barcode is the information. Okay, the total number of present student, that is not a data. That's also an information, because what's happening here is it's something like this. If you have seen your attendance, if you have seen a record book kind of a scenario, in your record book, normally to mark the attendance in front of the name, they'll put like a number. Do you all know what is the number they use for present and what is the number they use for absent? Normally they use a number. If you all notice your record book, right, you call this record book, no, make a register. Correct. If you see the register, mostly for present they put 1 and absent they put 0. Okay, present 1, absent 0. So if you want to see how many, yeah, they mark actually this one only, they mark in binaries. If you want to actually see how many students are present, you count and see how many ones are there. So counting that how many ones, that's an information. This one is a data. So you collect all these ones and see how many ones you have. That's not a data. The total number of students present, that's an information. That's also wrong. And scan ID barcode, that's a data. So that's also wrong. The last one they have said the name of the student is information, the scan barcode is data. First of all, in this situation, we are not even collecting the name of the student. And second thing regarding scan barcode is the data, yes. Scan barcode is the data correct, but the name of the student, that is not the information. Because to find the name, you don't have to process anything. Okay. So if there's, because you can directly ask the student what is his name, there's nothing to process there. Only when the data has to be processed, it's called an information. So that's also wrong. The only correct answer is the second one, where they have mentioned the barcode is data, which is correct. The attendance percentage is information. If you got that correct, mark it correct, put 1 mark there. If you have any questions, drop in the chat. The second one they have mentioned, consider the following services in the Sri Lankan public sector. Renewing vehicle, blah, 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 they have given you. Which of the following correctly classifies as G to C, G to G, and G to E? Okay. Normally, when you take the services provided by the government, okay, why is the call showing the name is coming? Okay. When you take the services provided by the government, we can classify this service in terms of who is it provided to. We can classify it into multiple categories. The government can provide its service to the citizens. That's the normal people who are living in that country. The government can provide its service to the employees. When we are referring to employees, we're not talking about all the employees. We are talking about the government employees, the people who are working for the government, the government school, government hospital, those people. Then we have the government businesses. So if you're going to start a business, some help you can, like information you get from the government. Those are the government businesses. And then there are certain services government provides for their other governments as well. So that's what we call as government to government. So government to government means not our government, it's to other governments, for foreigners basically. So if you go through the answers given here, the first one, renewing vehicle license online through e-revenue license portal. Okay, renewing vehicle license, that's a service the citizens can obtain. So this is G to C. Data controller in the divisional office of the Department of Motor Traffic updating vehicle registration data on a central database hosted by the Ministry of Transport. Okay, So basically, there's a data controller in the divisional office of the Department of Motor Traffic updating vehicle registration data. Basically, updating the vehicle registration data. So in within that office, they're going to update the vehicle registration data onto a database. Again, once those details are updated, that details are mainly useful for the citizens of Sri Lanka. As a citizen of Sri Lanka, I can go through that website and I will be able to obtain the what do you call the vehicle registration details. So that's also a service the citizens can obtain actually. A government school teacher downloading national syllabus from the National Institute of Education. Okay. If it's a government school teacher who is downloading the national syllabus from the blah blah blah, tell me that is a what do you call that is a service obtained by whom? Citizen, employee, business, or government? C, E, B, or G? I'll check for a Yes. When you take government school teacher, I told you, right? Out when you take employees, we're talking about government employees. So government school teacher, is she a government employee? Yeah. So as a government employee, she's going to obtain certain service. That's going to be G to E. So let's see what are the answers we have that's matching. First of all, we got the A G to C. This doesn't have G to C. This doesn't have G to C. So now we have two options. The first option and the second option. Third option. In the first option is mentioned G to C, G to E, and G to E. Third option G to G C, G to B, and G to B. We got the last option G to E. So this is wrong here. Okay, for the second one, I mentioned G to C, but here it's mentioned G to E. Let's again go through the second answer. Data controller in the division office of the Department of Motor Traffic, updating vehicle registration data on a central database hosted by the Ministry of Transport. So there is no, they are not represented who is obtaining the service. Now I was telling now, if I'm going to explain what's happening in that second point, if you're confused what's happening in the second point, what's happening there is, we have this Department of Motor Traffic now. So whenever you go and register a vehicle, you have to update in the database. So there is like a application. I think there is an application there, or there's a website also. I think called uh, Department of Motor Traffic (DMT) killer. DMT registration. Check. You can go and check a vehicle registration. Okay. Mob registration change luxury transferring charges for first register charges. DMT find owner using number plate. Yeah, by making online payment of 150 rupees. Let me show you. So for example, should I enter my details here? There's a mobile app. In mobile app, you don't have to enter all these details, but I'll just enter you. Okay. I'll just write my bike's details. Okay. I have paused the screen sharing because or else you can see my personal details. Okay. So you can see here through the Department of Motor Traffic, after I enter the details, I can enter my vehicle's number as well. If you enter the vehicle number, you can get certain details. Now, there are some limited details you can obtain here. Like, for example, the engine number, then which year it was made. Oh, mine was made 2017. I thought 2016. Anyways, but you call, you can get certain details like this. Now, for you to obtain these details from here, for me to obtain the details about the registration, first of all, a person who is working in a person who is working in the Department of Motor Traffic, this person has to update this data onto the website. Okay, so we call that as updating the data to the database. So only if he updates this data for the database, then what will happen is I can go to the same website and I can go and obtain the data. So only if you upload the data, I can basically obtain the data that's there. So I read this in the perspective of me obtaining the data. But if you talk about the situation where we have the ability for a person who is working in the Department of Motor Traffic, he has the ability to update or maintain details on his website. So through this website, he can go and obtain information as well. He can go and update information as well. So the correct word that has to be there here is data control and division officer motor traffic vehicle registration data. Not updating. This has to be obtaining. Because if you mention you're obtaining, then it's correct. But if you mention updating, it's not suitable. Anyways, so here who is updating the data or who is obtaining the data? The data control and the divisional office of Department of Motor Traffic. So Department of Motor Traffic is something that's owned by the government. So that therefore he's a government employee. So therefore the government employees obtaining the service. So therefore we can consider the first answer correct. Okay. Yes, Samara. Not needed, Samat. Can't I use G to G for B? No, no. G to G is government to government. Why does other government has to bother about Department of Motor Traffic? If you take Department of Motor Traffic, that's something relevant to Sri Lankan vehicles, not foreign vehicles. So there is no any sort of connection for foreign vehicles. Sorry in the gap. So yeah, that's going to be G to E. If you got that correct, mark it correct. Those have any questions, drop in the chat. Question number 3. In an automated Sri Lankan NIC verification system, a mismatch occurs due to citizens' date of birth field does not match the information mathematically encoded inside the NIC number. Okay, so they have automatic system. It seems as mismatch occurs due to a citizen's date of birth field does not match the information mathematically encoded inside. Okay, fine. Which attribute of the quality of information has been directly compromised here? In automated system, a mismatch occurs. So there is a mismatch means a mistake has happened. A mistake has happened due to the citizen's date of birth field. Citizen's date of birth field does not match the information mathematically encoded inside the NIC number. Which attribute of the quality of information? Okay, fine. So basically what they are given here is there is registration form. Listen, there is registration form. In the registration form, they have asked you a field asking you to enter your date of birth. And there is another field asking you to enter your NIC number. Tell me, is there a connection like from the NIC number? Can we derive the date of birth? Is it possible? Yes. From the what you call NIC number, you can derive the date of birth. So, for example, let's say my date of birth is something like this. Let's say my date of birth is something like this. Okay, let's say these are five. So let's say my NIC number is like this. If these are the one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. If these are the first seven digits, now there are more digits. But if these are first seven digits of my NIC number, the first four digits will represent my year of birth, and the next three digits will represent the day I was born. And for boys and girls, it's different. For girls, from this number, to subtract 500. For boys, you can take the number as it is. So if my date of birth, if my number here is 365, this defines that my date of birth was 31st of December. Kila. But if my number there was 001, that means I'm referring to January 1st as my date of birth. Okay, so that's how you can decode your date of birth from the NIC number. So for example, let's say I have something like 001 here. If I have 001, now this means that I'm born on January 1st. That's how it works. Yeah, I'm old, 1070. Okay. So here they are saying what has happened here is I have entered, let's say something is I have entered here my date of birth as something like let's say I have entered my date of birth here as let's say something like 1071 January 1st. Okay. But in my NIC number, let's say I have 1070. Okay, in my NIC number, let's say the first few digits are 1070 001. So when the what do you call when the system is checking, the system has been like a person who has this NIC number, his year of birth has to be 1070, not 1071. So they are like 1017, 1007 not matching. So there is an error. Tell me, I will clear about the plot. I have entered the date of birth, I have entered the NIC number. Using the NIC number, you can decode the year of birth and you can decode the date of birth. So after you decode the date of birth, when you compare, it's not matching, it seems. So there's error. Is that clear? Understood the error? Perfect. So you're an ancient prehistoric man. Yeah. Thank you. Here, Rakim, he got multiple calls. Okay. So let's see which is this relevant to. All right. The first thing they have said timeliness. Timeliness means the data being updated. So is this an issue about the data being updated? The context given here, is this an issue of the data being updated? Like, are we saying, okay, one of these data is not updated? Timeliness means data is not updated. So that's wrong. It's like, for example, if I ask you a question here, what is your age? If I ask you what is your age, then the data you might enter today and the data you might enter in 2, 3 years is going to differ. That's timeliness. Okay. Today you might enter your age as let's say 15. Another 2, 3 years you might enter your data as 17, 18. So that is timeliness. Data getting updated. And is this the issue of relevancy? Relevance is where I'm asking you one thing and you're replying with something else. So is this an issue about relevancy? Again, no. Is this an issue about completeness? Meaning, I'm asking you your date of birth, sorry, your NIC number, without giving me all the digits. You gave me only 3 digits or 4 digits, something like that. Again, no. Is it an issue about accuracy? Yes, it is the issue about accuracy. Why? You can see he has entered one date of birth here and he has entered the NIC number here. One of them is not correct. We don't know exactly what is incorrect, but either one of these is not correct. Okay. For both of them to be correct, then something like, for example, let's say there was issue in the date of birth, then the correct date of birth would be something like 1070 January 1st. Something like that. Okay, so there is an accuracy error. Accuracy means something is wrong. That's what accuracy means, like something is not correct or something is wrong. That was we call as accuracy. So here there is accuracy issue. Makes sense? Why will it be 1070? That's because in my NIC number, the first four digits are 1070. So in the NIC number, the first four digits represent my year of birth. So let's say by mistake I wrote 1071 here. That means this 1071 is error. So the correct date of birth is not 1071. The correct date of birth is 1070. Makes sense, Fatima? So that's the accuracy issue I have. You can derive the date of birth using your NIC number. Won't they keep the date of birth just and correct the NIC? What? You don't know. How do you know what is correct, what is wrong? Is this your data? No. So you don't know what is correct. Sometimes the date of birth could be correct, NIC could be wrong. Sometimes NIC could be correct, date of birth could be wrong. So I was like giving that as an example. Come. What? Regarding? Recording. I'll send today. I'll send. Okay, bye. Okay. So what I'm saying is, Fatima, we can't exactly tell the date of birth is wrong. Sometimes NIC number also could be wrong. I'm saying that is one of the possible mistake. One of the possible mistake is date of birth being wrong. So if the date of birth was wrong, this would have been the correct date of birth. Another possible mistake is NIC number would have been wrong. So if NIC number is wrong, then the possible correction would be 1071. Make sense? So those are two possible errors. Perfect. You're an Asian prehistoric man. Are you illegally living in a... Yeah, don't tell her. Police don't know I'm alive. Okay, Ambara. Actually, I was going to discuss that till I was searching that I could not find it. Then I remembered you sent it to WhatsApp and I was lazy to go and search your WhatsApp. Why relevancy can't be? How is it relevant to relevancy? Relevancy is I'm asking you one thing and you're giving me a different answer. Is it something like that? Is it something like I asked you one thing and you're giving me something else? Is that the issue here? Yeah, man, what to do? So it's not a relevance issue, okay? So if you got the question number, answer number three, mark it correct, go for the next question. If you had doubts, drop in the chat. Huh? In modern healthcare, medical professionals use various electronic diagnostic tools and imaging devices to monitor uh, physiological functions or examine internal structures. Here are some medical diagnostic tools and their active functions. Okay. EEG tracks heartbeat. No. Which of the options below represent the correct pair? Okay. The question is asking which of them represent the correct pair. In terms of EEG, EEG scans what? EEG actually scans something that you all don't have. What is it? EEG scans something. What's that? Something you all don't have. What is it? Hmm. Is it Amara? That's so sad. We have that. Oh, is it? I didn't know you all have. Yes, EEG is used to scan the brain. Electroencephalography. Oh, really? Multifunctional one. Take detailed pictures of your organs, muscles, and bones. Yeah, you can take detailed pictures of your organs, muscles, and bones using MRI. That's possible. CAT scan produces three-dimensional images of internal organs using X-rays. That's also correct. So here Q and R are correct. Answer is Roman number two. Tell me out of CAT scan and MRI scan, what do you think is more clear? I have thought all that actually. Sad life, Amara. Correct. When you compare CAT scan, MRI scan is more clear. You can even see the nerves. You can't see nerves in CAT scan. You can see nerves only in MRI scan. That's more clear. Sorry. So answer is Q and R. Okay. Tell me what is the scanner we have to scan the heartbeat? What's CAT scan? Computerized axial tomography. It's a CT scan killer. So CT scan and CAT scan both the same. Correct. It's the ECG machine here. It's not scan in the Kazaki palm. That fellow is going to get confused now. We had a questions drop in the chat. Which of the following statement is which of the following statement is correct regarding external storage devices? CD, compact disc, DVD, digital versatile disc, and Blu-ray disc are examples for optical media devices where data is read and written on a laser beam technology. That's correct. Cardiology is about heart. Yes. God created everyone equally. So if I don't have a brain, no one does. Not exactly, Zidane. Just like how God created everyone equally, God also made sure that everyone is created uniquely. So maybe the unique feature you have is you don't have brains. How do we know? USB flash drives have a larger storage capacity and they are getting out of use at present. In terms of USB flash drives have a large storage capacity, kind of yes, they have a good amount of storage capacity, but they're getting out of use. If you are telling that people are not using pen drives, is it true? Do we have we stopped using pen drives nowadays? Hmm, understandable. Amara. 3 to 4 lessons, that's fast. It's like the main external storage. Yeah. In terms of pen drive, that's one of the main external storage we use. So that's wrong. It doesn't get out of use. Hard disk, which is an optical media. No, hard disk is not optical media storage device. Hard disk, there are two types of hard disk. One is SSD and one is HDD. So if you take the normal hard disk comes under the category of HDD. Tell me the normal hard disk, that's a what type of media storage device? Correct. It's a magnetic media storage device. Why, Zaki? Why? So that's wrong. Because he saw my facial expression. Magnetic tape is used to back up data on server computers because it is very high data. It has a very high data writing and reading speed. No, in terms of server computers and all, we don't use magnetic tape. Without using magnetic tape, majority of the server computers they actually use SSD drives or solid state drives. Okay, those are only used. So that's also wrong. So the only correct answer is the first one here. We got it correct. Mark it correct. Put 1 mark there. Any questions? Drop in the chat. Next. My voice is almost gone. I don't know why. Sorry. A teacher conducts an online session using video conferencing. Which communication mode is mainly used? Okay, what's the answer? రాకి మీద యాడ డ్రింక్ రెండుదా నీకు ఇది నాలుగు మీకుదా అరే కూల్ పోమని పురిదా సారీ ఆన్ దట్ ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్ correct when you're having a video conferencing both the parties can speak at the same time so Red Bull man it's some lime juice basically so yeah that's actually full duplex mode that's my normal English man my normal Tamil hmm. But they have asked mainly by teachers. What do you mean by but they have asked mainly by teachers? I don't get. A teacher conducts online class using video conferencing. Which communication mode is mainly used? No, even online class which teachers do. Majority of the teachers, they allow the students to, this one, right? They allow the students to unmute. Only few P teachers like me, Islams and all, we don't allow. But majority of the other people, they actually love to unmute. So therefore, it's full duplex. So full duplex is where both the people can speak at the same time. Arihan Salam. Interesting. So for the people who are wondering what do you mean by that, is it Humera? But you call in terms of the data communication, always the data communication happens between two people. One is a sender, other one is a receiver. Okay. So simplex mode is where the data can travel only from the sender to the receiver. And half duplex mode is where the sender and receiver, both of them can communicate with each other. Okay. Sender and receiver, both of them can communicate with each other. But the point is only one person can speak at the time. Meaning, while I am speaking, you have to keep your mouth closed and listen. And then after that only you can reply. So while you're replying, I can't speak again. So only one person can talk at a time. And then we have full duplex mode. So full duplex is mode is where both the parties can speak at the same time and even you can interrupt each other. So for example, while I'm speaking itself, you can interrupt me and you can speak. That's what full duplex is. So these are the difference between the three of them. Simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Like happening in class. Yes, the current class we have at the moment, actually, even we are having a full duplex mode. Why I'm saying even we are having a full duplex mode is while I'm speaking itself, y'all can reply. I mean, it's like a mixture of full duplex and half mux. If you look at my perspective is like full duplex. While I'm speaking itself, y'all can interrupt me. But in your perspective, it's half duplex. Like, so it's a mixture. But we can't speak. But y'all can communicate through the chat, right? A normal messaging, a normal WhatsApp message comes in half duplex for information. Method duplex, what is? Don't allow to unmute. I will never allow to unmute. Maybe on the last day of the class, let's see. For the sixth one, I put the fourth one. No, there is nothing called broadcast. There is no data. There is no what do you call a type of communication called broadcast. You have only simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Don't dance, Rahim's laptop. So it's half plus full. Half plus full. Not exactly. But you can, if they ask you what is it, it's full duplex. We are physically, we don't have last day only. Plus. Let's see. What else, Anna? Question number 7. So it's all lies. What is all lies? So where's the kids? My kids, they went back to UAE. They're having fun in Dubai. Yeah, they said that they wanted to go to what do you call Uzbekistan for a trip. So let's see. They think they might go today. Yeah. A student is writing an assignment on a computer. Suddenly, a power failure occurs before the document is saved. When the power turns, the student returns on the the student turns on the computer again. Which statement is true regarding the status of the computer's primary memory during this event? Okay, so it's like you're writing an assignment, the power goes, and you again, what do you call on the computer, and they're asking what's happening. The unsaved assignment was safely preserved in the ROM during the power failure. Okay, now the point here is think about the perspective of volatile memory and non-volatile memory. Listen, all of you. It's already over, Humera. If you take volatile memory is where when the power goes, the data is lost. Okay, volatile memory is where when the power goes, data is lost. So, And non-volatile memory is opposite. Non-volatile memory is even if current goes, the data is not lost. Okay, that's what volatile and non-volatile is different. Now, here they are saying the unsafe assignment was safely preserved in the ROM during the power failure. First question, can we save data inside the ROM? As a user, can we input a data inside the ROM? No. See, the word itself has read-only memory. You can only obtain data from the ROM. You can never enter data inside the ROM. You can't enter in data inside the ROM. Tells Amara. But yes, they have. Sad life and what to do. Will you send your kids alone? I have 25, 50 bodyguards, man, minimum. So, it's a whole team. You think when I'm working as FBI, we don't get all those amenities. Even though y'all might sometimes see me walking the road alone, just look at the surrounding, you will notice there'll be several snipers and all following me for security purpose because we work for the FBI, you know. But it's yeah, that's wrong. The instructions required to boot up or start the computer after the power cut were retrieved from the ROM, but the assignment is not saved on the ROM. But the assignment is not saved on the RAM. This has two parts. First of all, let's focus on the first part. The first part is saying the instructions required to boot up and start the computer. Okay, those boot up instructions are retrieved from the ROM. Is that part correct? Tell me. When I was teaching all the ROM, I told you all right. What are the data we store in the ROM? So based on that, tell me, is this correct? Is that part of the question correct? You have bodyguards because you're Payam. Not Payam, it's because of the net worth. When you take high influential peoples or very there are valuable people need bodyguards because we are an asset to the nation. Says Zira. What else, Adhiva? Uh, okay, yes. If you're asking me what do you call, do we have the boot up instructions ROM? Yes, we have the boot up instructions ROM. But the assignment is not saved on the RAM. So in terms of assignment not saved in the RAM, that's also correct. The reason is because tell me, is RAM coming under volatile memory or non-volatile memory? In which category does the RAM come? Hmm? Correct. RAM comes under volatile memory. So when you restart the computer, the data won't be there because volatile memory, the data is lost when the power goes. So that's a correct statement. The unsaved assignment was safely preserved in the RAM during the power failure. During a power failure, can we store data in the RAM safely? When current goes, can we save data in the RAM? No, we can't. And why can't we? Because RAM is a. What is the reason? Because RAM is a. Why can't we store the data when the power goes? Or why is the data not there in the RAM when the power goes? Because it's a what type of memory? Perfect. Because it's a volatile memory. Because it's a volatile memory, you can't store the data here. So that's also wrong. Next, both RAM and ROM completely lost all of their stored data during the power failure. Okay, in terms of RAM, tell me, does RAM loses its data during power failure? Yes, RAM is a volatile memory, so it loses its data. In terms of ROM, Read-only memory. Is ROM volatile or is ROM non-volatile? Perfect. ROM is actually an example for a non-volatile memory. So during power failure, tell me, will ROM lose all of the data? No. So therefore, the statement is wrong. So out of the given answers, the only true statement we have is the option number two. So you mark the option number two, mark it correct, find out, stop and set. It's actually a good paper. There's lots of questions. It is not direct. You use your brains a bit. Next. A modern supermarket uses an automated checkout lane. Hmm. As a customer passes through, a device reads the price tag on items automatically. A screen displays a total bill, a receipt is printed, and a security camera records the transaction. Which of the following options only contains input device used in a scenario? Okay, they're talking about input devices only. Barcode scanner is it an input device? Yes. Printer is it an input device? No. Monitor is it an input device? No. Camera is it an input device? Yes. Barcode scanner, yes. Camera, yes. Printer, no. Monitor, no. So the answer that has only input device is basically the option number three. You marked it, got it correct, mark it correct, put one mark there. If you have any questions, drop in the chat. So always keep in mind, when you have a device, if you're going to use a device to give the data to the computer, then that device is going to be an input device. Or if there's a device from where you're going to collect the data from the computer and put it out, we call it output device. So it always depends on where the data is flowing from where to where. The next one. Which of the following statements is incorrect regarding the given image? Okay, let's see. A and C are wireless communication technologies that transmits data as radio frequency waves over there. Okay, A is a symbol used to represent Wi-Fi, and C is a represent used what do you call icon used to represent Bluetooth. So if you ask is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth examples for radio frequency which goes through the air, that's a correct statement. Next, local area networks can connect multiple computer systems together using a physical medium represented by B. Correct. This is actually the symbol used for RJ45 or Ethernet port. I'll just show you. Ethernet cable uh, icon. I remember showing it once in one of the class. I can't remember exact which class, but that's the symbol we use to represent a LAN connection using Ethernet port. I don't have a proper picture to show you all. So just keep in mind, this is talking about the RJ45 cable, the LAN port. So the second one says the local networks can connect multiple computer systems together using a physical medium represented by B. Correct. The physical medium here is a RJ45 cable. Sorry, Ethernet, yeah, Ethernet cables, which connects to the Ethernet port. The technology shown in C operates over large geographical distance, making it ideal for connecting cities together. Okay, C is talking about Bluetooth. Tell me, using Bluetooth, can we communicate in a larger distance? Even if you all have used Bluetooth speakers, you all know, right? You take the phone and speaker, the phone is very much away. Like in two different cities, can you connect? No. There is a very small distance. It's I think around 10 meters to 50 meters. I don't think when 50 meters work properly, but around 10 meters averagely it's what works. Okay. What is it this used for the RJ45? RJ45 is a cable that we use to connect multiple devices together. Even if you have Wi-Fi router, you can connect the Wi-Fi router to the computer through a cable using the RJ45 port. So RJ45 ports are normally used for networking to connect. Now, actually, in the laptop, if you look at the academy at the moment, there are several laptops here. I'll just show it to you. Ragim is saying not to show it to you. This is teaching them. I had to do live example for them. So basically, I have made a network here. Okay, in this network, I have one laptop here. I have another laptop here, another laptop here. So all these laptops, I have created a network here. Currently, there is a network, a local network I have made at the moment. Actually, a few minutes before the class start. So now what I have done is all these devices are synced. I can easily share, like we're doing some work at the moment. So because of that, all these devices, we can share data within us. Now, currently, I have made a local area network, a LAN network. But to create this LAN network, at the moment, I have used the Wi-Fi. Through the Wi-Fi, only I have made the LAN network. But you can create the same LAN network without a Wi-Fi. You can use basically something called as a switch or a hub. So using a switch, you can create LAN network as well. So using a switch, if you create LAN network, you'll have something like this. You'll have a switch. So to this switch, you can connect multiple computers. So to connect the computer to the switch, you need something called as a uh, RJ45 cables. So for to create a wired connection, you need RJ45. For wireless connection, in Wi-Fi is enough. Because of Kannur, no, that bug don't want to show all the stuffs. They are all hiding in the other classroom because I might show their face. Yeah, in MAW. Yeah. The last one. Peripheral input devices like pen drives and Excel hard drives are commonly connected to PC via interface D. Okay, this D is representing the USB. So they are saying peripheral input device. Peripheral input device means most. Now, when you say peripheral devices, we can categorize peripheral devices into three. Peripheral devices means the devices that can be connected to the computer. Okay. So in terms of peripheral devices, we can classify peripheral device into input device, output device, and storage device. These are three categories normally we consider peripheral devices. So peripheral devices are technically the devices that you can connect to the computer. So they are saying peripheral input devices like pen drives and external hard drives are commonly connected to the computer via the USB no, interface D. So D is talking about the pen drives. So is it through the pen drives? Then that's also yes. Majority of the hard disk call they're connected using pen drive. I think I might have a hard disk here. Farhan, where is the hard disk? He took it. Still hard disk at the Par. There should be a hard disk here. It's there. I can show you. To do. That's fine. Where is it? Yes, Hafiz Sumarkand. So this is how the hard disk is. So yes, put a cover and kept for his hard disk. Put unboxing. Okay, even the hard disk. Same. So if you look at this hard disk here, okay, if I want to connect this hard disk to my computer, I will connect this hard disk using the USB port. So this is the USB port. So using the USB port, I can connect this hard disk, the external hard disk. I can connect this to a computer. Look away. It's that color. Okay. That's also a reason, Amara. So yeah, the correct answer is second one. That's the only answer that has a correct statement. Sorry, the incorrect one is the third one. That's the only answer that has an incorrect statement. The question is asking incorrect statement, no? So these are only incorrect statement. Why turned off blur by mistake? Okay. So put 1 mark each now and tell me out of 9 marks, how many marks you all got? Umar, how is Umar? I mean, can you send me the question you have? Hard disk tour featuring Farhan. Yes.
It's not.
Hard disk tour. Understandable. Good. Majority of you have got almost full marks. Not now, Rehan. Okay, based on the time we have, I think we can um do the 10th and 11th question. I'll put your hands down. So once you're done with the 10th and 11th, raise hands. If you have any questions, drop in the chat. Have more time, Rehan. Last week you said that you will do a logic gate question. Yeah, but then what I did is there was a class before that and I got time and I did it. If you notice the recording, if you notice the paper class group, I would have sent a message saying that I discussed all the logic gate questions in this. Please watch it, killer. I off it. Then how to ask doubts. Ask in the class and reply. When I start in the paper class for all your students. What do you mean when I start the paper class? This is the paper class domain. Grade 11 happens on Tuesdays. Grade 10 happens on Thursdays. Nah, matter nah. Okay, quickly do this question. Once you're done, raise a hand in Zoom. Those who are still doing the question, I'll give you all a minute more faster. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see. I did not know that, Hubeb. Hmm. Hubeb, I'll give you my class number. Can you drop me a WhatsApp message? I'll send you the details. Sad life, Rehan. If you're confident enough, go for it, Fatima. Who is it, Zaki? Okay, time is up. Let's check your answer. Those who done, raise your hands up. I can see the 12 hands up. Maths is actually comparatively manageable, Fatima. But try and see if you are good for it. If you are confident, go for it. Can you tell me what number I should use from both of your numbers? The thing is, you have only two numbers and you're trying it so hard to message me. There are people who have five of my numbers and still they're finding it hard to message me. I'll reply, don't worry. Yes, Sumal, do you have any question over Simak? You got five numbers, more than that. Okay, let's start. Start the following statements regarding how modern computer systems are categorized based on their size, speed, and purpose. Okay, so we are asking them the parts regarding size, speed, and purpose. Which of the following answers is or are incorrect regarding the statements below? Okay, they're asking us to find the incorrect statements. Let's check. Do you have a question? Do you have like a question paper, Umar? Okay, the first one. A mainframe computer is primarily designed to handle massive amounts of input, output, and data storage for thousands of simultaneous users. Okay. Mainframe computers designed to handle massive amount of input, output, and data storage for thousands of simultaneous using in mega for commercial institutes. Yes, that's correct statement. A mini computer is a small portable computer that is powered by a single battery and is designed to be used by only one person at a time while traveling. Yes, correct. Supercomputers are optimized to run a large number of everyday office applications at the same time. A large number of everyday applications at the same time. Actually, no. If you take supercomputer, mainframe computer, mini computer, out of these three computers, which one is actually very powerful? Correct. In terms of very powerful, supercomputer is only the very powerful one. Okay, supercomputer is very powerful comparatively. So in terms of supercomputers are optimized to run a large number of everyday office applications at the same time. So when you say everyday office applications, the mostly everyday office applications are Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Excel, browser. These are like some applications people who are, generally who are working on a computer on a daily basis, the works they run. So to run a large number of everyday office applications, supercomputer is too powerful. You can run that on a mainframe computer as well. So there is no purpose. So definitely Y is correct. Y is a correct statement. Therefore, these two can't be an answer. It should be either is it or is there an X. The reason why I can say why I can take X as wrong is they have mentioned the mainframe computer is primarily designed to handle a massive amount of inputs, output, and data storage for thousands of simultaneous users. If you ask me, can a mainframe computer handle thousands of users? It can actually handle thousands of users. So it is normally used for commercial institutions. Okay, you can use for commercial massive institutions. We can use it, but when you compare mainframe and super, we use mainframe for comparatively small scale businesses. So in terms of massive commercial institution, when I use the word called massive commercial institutions, let's think about the very large organizations. So when I say very large organizations, let's imagine like Google, OpenAI, or those big Facebook, Instagram. So those are like massive commercial institutions. So those big companies, if you take for them, mainframe computers are not enough to handle. To handle thousands of users, it's actually enough. For millions of users only, it's not enough. For thousands, actually, it's enough. But then comparatively, we can say supercomputer there is more powerful, more relevant. So I'm still confused. Should I give one only or one and three? That is anyways wrong. Regarding X, handle a massive amount of inputs, output, and thousands of similar. If this word called thousand was not there, I would have made it wrong. But because thousands is there, I'm again thinking. I just double check. Mainframe computers, concurrent user limit. Told you. It can handle thousands of users. So therefore, that's not a wrong answer. And because that word called massive commercial institution, I'm again thinking, but again, because they are talking about just 1,000 users, a mainframe computer can handle it. So I'll put here, is it only? How many of you put the Roman number one as the answer written in the chat? Did you put the Roman number one? Is there anyone who put the Roman number one as the answer? One person? Only one person? Can you elaborate the difference between a mini computer and macro computer? Oh shoot. I read the mini computer as microcomputer. I is wrong. Because why is not talking about mini computer? Why is talking about microcomputer or macrocomputers? I was reading that as micro. Because when you take mini computers are not portable. Okay. Mini computers are what we use in like those banks and all for a respective branch. In schools also, normally your school labs, all the small computers are connected to this computer called mini computer. So mini computer is not portable. So your phones, laptops, computers, they come under mini computers. That's actually a wrong statement. My bad. Wait. Then my answer is going to change. If that's the scenario, then Y changes. Answer is going to be Y and Z only. Yeah, the answer is Y and Z only. Because Y is talking about macro computers, not mini. Should file a complaint against you to the police for doing illegal stuff. What else? No question paper, but didn't understand theory. Understandable. But one of my friends joined your class once and said, sure, dude. It's rare. I cut my answer from Roman number 4 to Roman number 3. Why Avasaram? Supercomputers have high mathematical calculation, right? Not exactly high mathematical calculations, of high computer, how high processing power. So for high processing power, only we need it, like AI applications and those stuffs. What was so funny, Surya? They said, aren't they saying incorrect statements? Yeah, the incorrect statement I'm talking about. Y and Z are incorrect because the Y should be actually microcomputer. If it's microcomputer, it's correct. Okay, mini computer is not portable, so that's why it's wrong. Easily is wrong because they have mentioned for supercomputers, they have mentioned supercomputers are used to run the everyday office application. So to run a large number of everyday office application, even your normal personal computer is more than enough. Like for example, you all have seen the number of applications I run in my computer, right? If you all are coming to my classes, you all know. Like if I start my class, online class, I show a screen sharing of how no, currently I have closed applications. So in your personal computer, you can run a large number of daily office applications. So here also the most suitable is going to be macro computer or else micro. So the most suitable wrong answers here are Y and Z only. If you got that correct, mark it correct, put 1 mark there. Any questions up in the chat? Is it? So question number 11. In question number 11, they have said 2 to the power 32 bit, 2 to the power 29 byte, 2 to the power 9 MB, and 2 to the power 2 GB. Which of the above statement is or equal to half a GB capacity? Okay. So half GB, basically 0.5 GB is half GB now. So half GB is equal to what they're asking here. Let's go with the answers given here. Now, to find what's the most suitable answer, you can just go through the values here, okay? First of all, you can see there's a value mentioned as 2 to the power 2 GB. 2 to the power 2 represents 4. 2 to the power 2 is 4, right? So is half GB equal to 4 GB? That's a direct question. Like I is half equal, both the same measuring unit. So is half equal to 4. What does that sound? With my laptop. Ting. Ah, sorry. That's like vegetables and meat are same. Not vegetables and meat are same. It's like saying half 2 kilos of sugar is equal to 5 kilos of onion. 2 and 5 are not equal. That's why the comparison is not equal. Dumb. The comparison is they are not equal. Even though both are kg. So yeah, that's anyways wrong. So now we have three options. You have to figure out what's the correct answer. So just figure out all the measuring units first of all. I thought you know what do you call short way to remember a short stupid way to remember the order. What is it? Big brother. Yes. Big brother Ken made green to purple. Made green to purple.
இதெல்லாம் எப்படி நட வச்சு கொள்ளுவான் அவரு? இது சும்மா நட வச்சு கொண்டாலே லேசி ஆயிக்கும்.
Big brother Ken made green to purple. He's correct. But since they can remember, if I ask them to remember the correct order, none of them will remember. That's not Farhan Nana, that's Rahim Nana. They call you Rahim Nana, Rahim sir. Mm. Whatever. Anyway, so these are the measuring units we have. So bit, byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, and petabyte. Okay. He is the one who edits all those videos and all those stuffs. That there was a video that had this one, right? For the awards day, there was like a car video and all that went. So that was done by
பரவாயில்ல போறோம் கிளாஸ் டைம் நீ பரவாயில்ல நீங்க எப்ப இருப்பீங்க தெரியும் பார்த்து அனலைஸ் பண்ணி
Sorry, you are a good editor, it seems. He's hiding. All our too much popular are there here. What to do? He's shy, it seems. Okay, next one. I tried to turn, he's again turning that side. What to do? Okay. So to find what's equal, what you do is you just first of all figure out what's the value we have. So we have half GB, so we are staring somewhere here. So now we're going to see out of these values here, bit, byte, and megabyte. Bit is here, byte is here, megabyte is here. The closest person we have is megabyte. So what let's do is let's convert this number to megabyte for now. Okay. Take a pic and send to the group. I have his picture in my laptop. Don't worry. I can show it. Let's see. Okay. If you all can remember, I told you all to convert this, remember like going up and down in a company. So when you're getting promoted, you're going to get multiplied. So up you're going promoted, no? So multiplied. So to convert GB to MB, you're going to multiply by 1024. So to convert half GB to convert to MB, you're going to multiply it by 1024 because it's one step up. So you multiply half by 1024. That's equal to half into 2 to the power 10. So 1024 is equal to 2 to the power 10. Okay. And if you're good at maths, you will know that when you have 2 to the power 10, divide by 2 to the power 1. If both the numbers are same and you have a division, you can subtract the index. So that's going to be 2 to the power 9 MB. So is it 2 to the power 9 MB? Yes, that is correct. Next we have byte. So let's convert that byte as well. Now to convert this 2 to the power 9 MB, if you want to convert that byte, you have to go one step, two step up. Okay. From MB, if you want to convert to byte, you can see you got to go two step up, right? So that means to convert 2 to the power 9 MB, let me just write that also here. To convert 2 to the power 9 MB, where should I write it? I'll write here itself. So 2 to the power 9 MB, to convert that to byte, what we're going to do is for one step up, we're going to multiply by 1024. So two steps up, we're going to multiply that twice. So 2.2 to the power 9, sorry. 2 to the power 9 into 1024 into 1024. So the short form of 1024 is 2 to the power 10. So I'll just directly write here 2 to the power 10. Okay. So for every step you go up, you multiply by 1024. So for the one step up, the first 2 to the power 10. The next step up, again multiply by 2 to the power 10. Then mathematically, you can look, when the numbers are same and you're multiplying, you can add the index. Multiplying, you add the index. Dividing, you subtract the index. Huh? So this is equal to 2 to the power 29 bytes. So have they given us 2 to the power 29 bytes? Yes, that's also correct. Now from bits to bytes, we're going one step up. I told you for every conversion, if you're going one step up, you multiply by 1024. And if you're going one step down, you divide by 1024. But I give you a small disclaimer. I told you whenever the word called bit is there, without using 1024, I ask you to use another value. How much? So now we have 2 to the power 29 bytes. I want to convert these 29 bytes to bits. Okay. So to multiply by, we're going up, so you multiply by 8. So 8 is equal to 2 to the power 3. When the numbers are same, you can add the index. So 29 plus 3 is 32. So that's 2 to the power 32 bits. Is that correct? Yes. So here the correct statements are A, B, and C only. Don't guess and right. Make sure accurate with your answers. Huh? Okay, if you got that answer correct, put 1 mark there and tell me out of 2 marks, how many marks you got. Those any questions, drop in the chat. Risk should use only for byte, not byte if the word called bit is there. Like when you're converting something to bit or else from bit to something. When the word called bit is there, always you are use 8. For others, all it's 1024. But only if the word called bit is there, it's 8. Is that clear? Got it, Hannah? No, no. Is it the only way? Yeah. Like if you're going up, you multiply by 1024. If you're going down, divide by 1024. If the word called bit is there, you use 8 instead of 1024. That's how the rule works. Make sense? Yeah. With the way run for the day. Because I have a question you can stay, na, so others you can leave. By the way, Umar, what are we studying tomorrow? Tomorrow. We finish logic gates for you, all right? Yeah, tomorrow we're starting this one. Operating systems. Fatima. Give me a moment, Fatima. Download. Okay. Fatima, I'll discuss a question. Give me a moment. Is recap class starting from this Saturday? No, I told I'll publish posters all. There's so much time. Wait. Yeah, tomorrow I'll do it for you. Over. After class. By the way, if there's any grade 11 students who are there here, you all can stay. I'm going to discuss a database question, which one of you will have a doubt on. But I will do a small break to pray and come and then I'll start the discussion. Fatima, start the discussion in small break, okay? Is that fine? Can you send me the recording of the last Saturday online class? I couldn't join because no coverage. I actually sent it in the what do you called group. Aren't you there in the group, Hafsa? That's fine. We have it. We'll be doing those lessons as well also. We can finish it by 7:20, right? Yeah, yeah, we can, Fatima. Yeah, I can remember sharing in MAK group. Just double check the group, Hafsa. I mean the MAK group as in for the class, there's a separate WhatsApp community. They send me this hashtag group G11 MAK. They send me this hashtag to 0722178161. Just send me this number, connect it with. Okay, it's 6:50 now. Fatima, I'll play and come at around 6:55. I'll discuss this question, okay? What do you mean, Sipat? It's basically this class has been going on for like months, man. This is the 12, like 13th or 14th day. Very if I'm canceling it, I might cancel last moment. If I'm keeping the class, it's definitely going to be there. And I don't easily cancel unless there's a specific reason.
இது இன்னைக்கு
I'm sick.
வந்து இவ்வளவு நேரம் பழகுனதுக்கு போறதான் சொல்லுவீங்களே. இல்லைதானே?
இல்ல நான் sick வச்சு தான் கிளாஸே சொல்லிட்டு வந்தேன். Fatima here. I'll get my lunch and come. You're gonna eat lunch now, Fatima?
நம்ம புள்ள ஒண்ணு
So are you there? Yes, Samra. Fatima, should I start off? Okay, I'll start. So the question is basically use the following tables to answer question 22 to 25. Okay. Following is a segment of a database of a school which includes data about students of the subject stream, 13 years guaranteed education, teachers who have appointed to observe them, and the subjects available. Okay, fine. Nothing big. There's nothing big in that paragraph. So the question says there are three tables here: the student information table, the teacher information table, and the subject information table. The first question they are saying choose the answer which contains only primary keys. So primary keys are the unique fields of a table. That's the point which you have to keep in your mind. Okay. Let's go to the answers and see video. The first answer they are saying in the subject table, the subject can be a primary key. So where is the subject table? This. In the subject table, we have three fields: the subject number, the name, and the telephone number. So out of these three fields, can we take the subject? What is the subject here? When they're referring to the subject, they're referring to the name, I guess. So they're saying the subject in the subject table. In the subject table, using the name as a primary key is not suitable because when you're talking about primary key, apart from telling that the primary key has to be unique, there are some indirect other factors as well. Normally, we don't like to take a primary key. We don't like a field that will change. Okay, when you're taking a primary key, we don't like to. We never what do you call encourage using a field that could change. So it's always advised to avoid using fields that the data can change. So avoid using fields where data can change. So if you take name, this name column has certain data. Even though sometimes it might not repeat, there are chances sometimes we can go and make small corrections. Sometimes a word called graphic designing can be changed to, let's say, multimedia designing. So the names can change, even though it's not changing, it can change in a practical scenario. So it's not suitable. Okay. So next I mentioned the teacher number in a subject table. In the subject table, okay, this is a printing mistake basically. I think they're referring to telephone number. In the subject table, we don't have teacher number, we have telephone number. No? Actually, this has to be teacher number. This has to be teacher number, not telephone number. Okay. This has to be teacher number. Okay. What do you call that's a teacher? It should be teacher number there, not contact number, not telephone number. So in terms of teacher number in the subject table, the thing is, like we done earlier, the primary key has to be a unique field, which means you can't have repetitions. But you can see we have repetitions here, so therefore that's also invalid. Okay. And I'll just go for the second option directly because first answer is always already wrong. No. The second answer we have there, the second answer we have there, the number in teacher information table. In teacher information table, you can see every teacher has a number. And can we take the number as a primary key if you ask? Yes, because you can see every teacher will have a unique number. Okay, it's like an admission number. Every teacher has a unique number. So using that as a primary key is valid. Second answer they mentioned subject number in the subject table. The subject table, you can see every subject has a number. Okay. So that number is going to be unique for that subject. The subject's number. So that's also going to be, that's also fine to take as a unique value. Then they mentioned teacher number in the subject table. In the subject table, teacher number in a subject table. Teacher number in the subject table, that is wrong. Okay. Because likewise, you can see here, in the subject table, teacher number is repeating. So this part is wrong. Teacher number is wrong. That's also wrong answer. The third answer they have mentioned the number in teacher information table. In teacher information number, that's correct. The subject number in subject table, that's also correct because that also has unique values, like I told you earlier. Admission number in the teacher information table. I think again there's a spelling mistake here because admission number is the data behind student information table. So probably this should also be a what do you call typing error. So this should be this should also be a student information table. So the student information table, if you're asking me, can we take admission number? Yes, because every student has a unique admission number. So that's also correct. But again, let's double check the last answer. Okay. Again, this paper had a printing mistake. I did this paper in a physical class, I remember once. Sorry. The subject number in the student information table.
Yes.
So student information table, do we have a subject number? Yes. Now in the current data, if you see, is a subject number unique? You can see the subject number is currently unique. But even though currently subject number is unique, first of all, let's see what does the subject number is referring to. Okay, subject number is referring to subject number following a series of school which include data about students of the subject stream. Okay, let's talk about which stream you're learning. So it's something like, here we are talking about like not school kind of scenario. Here they are talking about a course kind of scenario. You can see a graphic designing, computer hardware, networking. So it's like a, not a more than talking about a school. It's look like a courses kind of situation, right? So you can see every student is enrolled for a course. Now, practical tell me if there is a student and if this student is enrolled for a course, for example, let's say there's a student called Amal, and let's say Amal is enrolled for a course called, let's say, graphic designing. Now, if Amal is joining the graphic designing course, just like Amal tell me, is it possible for another student, let's say Bimal, for example, to join that same designing course? Imagine like an institute or a university or campus something and tell me, practically, is it possible? Can two students join us enroll for the same course? Yeah, it's completely possible. Okay. So therefore, even though in the given data it's not repeating, there is a possibility where it could repeat. So when you're finding primary key, don't just ask yourself, like don't just stop yourself from asking, is it repeating? Apart from asking yourself, is it repeating? You also ask yourself this question on, can it repeat? If it's not repeating at the moment, in the future at least, is there a possibility to repeat? Okay, so this is the data that could repeat. Okay, so that's not suitable to take as primary key. Next, they mentioned student name in the student information table. Student name, if you ask, can we take as a primary key? Again, that's also not suitable. Now, in the given data, again, all the names are unique. But practically, tell me, is there a possibility that in a school or any place you go, is there a possibility that two students can have the same name? Can. Now, for example, why can't there be? Now, if you take my school, if you take my sister's class, okay? In my sister's class, there was two students who had the same first name and the same last name. Okay, so it goes like this. I can remember there was a two girls called Hafsariyas, and my sister's name was Yamina. So that you can see all are having the same surname, but these are three different people who are from three different families. Okay, these are three different people. Okay, and all three have the same surname, and these two people not only the same surname but even the same first name. So there are situations sometimes where two people can have the same first name and same last name as well. Correct? It is possible. The probability is more than one. Makes sense? Sorry. Is that clear for you? That in practically a school can have two students with the same name. Okay. So that's also not suitable. Then subject in subject table. Again, when they're referring to subject, I think they're referring to the subject's name. Okay. So subject's name in subject table, that's also not suitable. Anyways, the answer that had only all the answers correct was the answer number 3. So answer number three will had all three options correct. So here the option is answer number three. Again, there's a small typing mistake here. But yeah, answer number three is the one that's correct there. Got it, Fatima? No, Anuska. Why isn't subject name a primary key? I told you, sometimes subject name, even though it's very rare it could repeat, sometimes subject name can change. It's not recommended to use a field that could change. Now, out of subject number and subject name, okay, out of these two, which has a probability, which has a less probability to change? Like which one you can tell will never get changed? The subject number will never change or name will never change? Yeah, subject number will never change. They tell you you can't like there won't be any situations for you to change the subject number. But if you take subject's name, there are possibilities it could change. What I mean by possibilities it could change, for example, let's say currently we have this course as what do you call it, graphic designing now. So let's say they wanted to modify this course as uh, let's say they wanted to modify this course as something like let's say multimedia designing. Okay, let's say they wanted to modify this course as multimedia designing. Or let's say they wanted to modify this course as something like let's say computer graphic designing. So there are possibilities it could change certain courses. Now, for example, even if you take this subject called IT, even though now we call this ICT, back then people used to call the subject IT, just IT. So even though it doesn't change, there are possibilities. If you take the subject called ICT, earlier it was called IT. Now it's called ICT. There are possibilities it could change. Make sense? Fatima, clear like why will they change like certain situations? Hmm. So just keep in mind there are situations which change. The answer which contains a foreign key and table is okay. In terms of foreign key is basically another table's primary key. So only if you know a primary key, you can go and easily find a foreign key. So in this question, okay, in this question, the primary keys are basically this is one primary key, this is one primary key, and this is one primary key. Okay. So when the primary key is referenced in another table, it becomes a foreign key. So let's go one by one. The admission number field, do we have in any other tables? This admission number, apart from this table, do we have this in any other tables as a field? Where? Which table? Which table? Then why did you say yeah? I ask you, this admission number field we have here, do we have this field in any other tables? Yes or no? In another table, do we have this? Now we have your teacher numbers, right? Now this number is talking about teacher number. Okay. This teacher's number, do we have in any other tables? Is this value mentioned? Is this value reference in any other tables? Yeah. Which table? Perfect. In the subject table, I told you there's spelling mistake here. So yes, in the subject table, we have it. So therefore, the teacher number in subject table, this we can consider as a foreign key. So when a primary key is reference in another table, it becomes a foreign key. So do we have an answer like that? Teacher number in subject table? Yes, that's correct. Okay. The subject number in student information table. Is that correct? That's also subject number in student information table. If you ask me, is that correct? Then yes. Because why? Subject number is a primary key here. So if a primary key is referenced in another table, it becomes a foreign key. That's how you find foreign key. You find a primary key and you see is a primary key there in another table. Make sense? But it's not a primary key in the student information table now. So who said it has to be a primary key in the student information table? The point how you check a foreign key is you go and see is it a primary key in another table? Is it a primary key in another table? It should be a primary key in another table, not this table. So if you want to check is it a foreign key, you'll go and see is it a primary key in another table? Is it a primary key in another table? Yes. Which table? Student information table. Makes sense. So you go and check is it a primary key in another table? And yes, it is a primary key of another table. That's how you verify is it a foreign key. Got it? I'll simplify it. For example, let's say we have AK Rino, Anur Kumar. He is a president of Sri Lanka. Let's say he goes to India, or let's say he goes to America. Okay, he goes to USA. Now, if Anura is there in America, will the people in America, okay, the people who are in America, will they call him as a president? Will they tell Anna president is walking and going? No. But let's say if Trump is walking in America, then will they say Anna president is going? If Donald Trump is walking in the road and going, will people there say Anna president is going in the road? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Now, even though they are saying Anura is, even though when Anura is walking, they are not referring him as president. Can we tell? Can the people there be like, Anna, a foreign president is walking? Yes, a foreign president is walking. If I, or let's say for example, it's Rizlan is walking there in America. Can we tell the president is walking? No. Can we say a foreign president is walking? Again, no. So for me to refer you as a foreign president, first of all, what? You have to be a resident of a country. Same thing here as well. For me to call you as a foreign key, first of all, you have to be a primary key somewhere else. So only if you're a primary key somewhere else, I can call you a foreign key here. I can call you foreign president here only if you're a president somewhere else. Make sense? That's how foreign key and primary key work. Hmm. So second answer I mentioned teacher number in subject table. In subject table, teacher number is correct. Subject number in subject table, that's wrong. Subject number in subject table, that's a primary key. So second answer is wrong. What was the next screenshot you sent me? Was it a continuation or that was a continuation, no? Yeah. So the answer is the first one. Second answer is wrong because second answer have two answers, no? Teacher number and subject number. Subject number is not a primary key. Subject number is not a foreign key, it's a primary key. That's why second answer is wrong. Clear? Okay. Any other questions, Fatima? No. Okay, as you asked, by 7:20 we are done. What is it? Wasn't it the same thing? You mean the question number 24 and 25? Then I did not notice it. It's good. What are the subjects observed by the teacher, Mr. Asanga Priyashan? Asanga Priyashan, Asanka, I think Asanka Priyashan, 1002. Okay. So Asanka Priyashan is 1002, and he's the subjects he's performing. That's the another screenshot. Where's the other screenshot we have? Here. Okay. So Asanka Priyashan is basically 1002. 1002 is having two classes. He is doing the graphic designing class as well as the motor mechanism class. Okay. So I got the 1002 from the other table. See, Asanka's teacher number is 1002. So if I go and check 1002 is doing what subject, he's doing graphic designing as well as motor mechanism. So answer is going to be graphic designing and motor mechanism. Answer number four. Is that clear? Hmm. The student who studies computer hardware networking is. So computer hardware networking, what is the subject number for that? So computer hardware networking is S001. Okay, computer hardware networking you can see here. It's actually S001. So S001 is done by whom? Let's go and check who is doing S001. S001 is done by, or is what do you call it? S001 is followed by Kamal Damayanth. So answer here is the fourth one, Kamal Damayanth. Got it? So you go for the subject table and see what is the subject number for computer hardware networking. So the subject number for computer hardware networking was S001 here. So I came to the students table and found who is the student following S001. That is Kamal. I checked and put 1001 and put Deepthi Perera. Deepthi Perera. Who is Deepthi Perera? Deepthi Perera. Deepthi Perera is a teacher, man. Not a student. It's not S1001 is S001. Subject number. See? Is that clear? Got it. Hmm. Anything else? You don't understand, tell me, yeah? Because I was giving a rough summary only. Which part? Anyways, we'll be doing the database. Like, I didn't teach you the database fully here. I was just giving you a rough answer. Sifat, we are done with the class. This class finished at 6:30 p.m. and we are clarifying doubts. Information. Is there anything else, Fatima? Okay, so if there's no other questions, we can wind up from here. And I'll meet you all again next week. Have a nice day.